Welcome to Lesson 2 on Unit 6. This is also a lesson on graphing. This is the second part. We're going to have to use a set square to draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis through points P, Q, and R. Label the new line as the axis. So a square is just anything that's shaped like a you can use a ruler or any straight edge that you happen to have at your house. So I'm going to use this videotape. This is classic. Old, okay. So I'm going to put it up to my screen and I am going to try to draw a line with my pen. And it's going to go, so that's as best I could do. That kind of didn't go through. You want to go through the actual point. I did not. So the reason why we're doing this is perpendicular. That means it goes in the opposite, the direction to the right. So what makes a right angle. Okay, you're going to do this with all the different things. I'm going to just draw the second one freehand. See if I can do this. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. Note that it makes a square, a 90-degree angle with the other line. Okay. And this is they're going to want me to label this line the y-axis. So we're going to label it y. That's going to be line y. Okay. And then R. So line perpendicular through R. Again, this is the same thing. And I totally missed R. So please draw your line through R. It's just really hard to draw on a computer screen while you in the air. So all right, there you go. Those are called perpendicular lines. That means if you are perpendicular to something, you are not going straight through it or like sideways to it, kind of turn sideways. So there you go. And remember, parallel lines are straight across, equidistant. All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one. And we're looking at number 2 now. Choose one of the sets of the perpendicular lines and create a coordinate plane. Mark 7 units on the x-axis. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to do it on this line because it's straight up and down. I did not read that second part of the problem, so sorry. So there you go. This is it. So they want me to, that's a y-axis, and the other side they want me to mark. This would be the x. Notice that says x there. It already says x, so that's x-axis. They're getting us ready for this coordinate plane down below. Mark seven units on each axis. So marking 7 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need 7. I'll put it in there. Okay. Up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You could number those if you want. You don't need to. Mark 7 units and label each as a whole number. Okay, so they do want me to do that. So you will write, I'm not going to do all of them. 2, 3, 4. So each line gets a number, okay? And you see. And over in here, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, okay? And that's letter A. Okay. All right, let's move up. All right. Now it says use the coordinate plane. So this is a coordinate plane, okay? It has a y-axis going up and down. So you see it goes up and down right here, and then you have an x-axis that goes across. Okay. Use the coordinate plane to answer the following. Okay. Name the shape at each location. So it gives you 2 numbers. You see an x number and a y coordinate, x coordinate and y. So the x, so the x is whatever number is at the bottom of the line. So let's look at, it says number 2. So let's see, there's number 2. So you'll go to that number 2, and you're going to follow the line from the x. This is x down here, all the way up until you get to 5. So we're looking for this. This is 5, okay? So what we do is you can go up all the way, and then you go from 5 all the way, and wherever they cross over is the one you want. So that is a triangle, right? So I'm going to try it. Can I make this bigger? I can't. Triangle. I think I can make my page a little bigger, actually. I think it's a little small. Do you agree? thumbs up my video if you agree that the screen was too small, and I'll make it bigger. Which shape is 2 units from the y-axis? So this is y. So this line, I'm going to erase this, okay, everybody? And then I'm going to try to make the screen bigger. Okay. Oh, there you go. Look at that. It's a little easier on the eyes. Okay. So let's go back to the pen. So we said that was a y. Okay. Now it wants to have an object that's 2 away from the y, the line of y. Wait. I don't even know where I read that from. Okay. Can we rewind this? I'm going to edit this later. Okay. Our next coordinate is at 1, 2. So here's 1. Down at the bottom, you do the x first at the bottom, and you go up until you hit 2. So 2 would be the circle. Okay. I know what I did. I started reading the question letter B. That's what I did. Okay. And it goes from 2 and it goes there. Okay. Next we have 5, 6. So 5 for x. So let's look at 5 for x. And we'll go up, and 6 for y. So let's go 6. And 5 is right there. Sorry. And we have that. And that is going to be a square. That's a really bad circle that I drew before. Square. Okay. And then the last one is 6, 5. So let's see, 6 and 5. So let's go 6. And we'll go to 5 over here, and we'll go over. We'll go up, and we'll meet at the stop sign, or the hexagon. There we go. Stop sign. Now it says which object or which shape is 2 units from y, the y-axis. So if we look, let's go ahead and erase these. I want to erase this. Okay. So which unit is 2 from the y? So this is y. This is 5. Y. It wants us to go over 2 units away. So 2 units is this line. And let's see, what is on this line? Let's go down. This is 2 units away. And you can see our circle. So the circle is the one that is 2 units from the y-axis. All right. Letter C, which shape has an x-coordinate of 0? So the x-coordinate is 0. So let's go to x. This is the x line at the bottom, and this is 0x. So let's see who is on the 0x line, and it is our good friend parallelogram. So let's draw this parallelogram. You can actually say what it is too, I guess. Which shape is 4 units from the y-axis and 3 units from the x? Well, let's start with 3 units from x. So I'm going to go, this is x, right? So let's go 3 units. So up 3. And this is the 3 units from x, okay? So that's 3 units up. And it says it's 4 units from the y-axis. So wait a minute. So 4 units from the y-axis would be right here. Oh, it wants me to get 2 different things. Or 4, let's see, 4. Okay. So which shape is, there is no shape. Is this a trick question? Well, one of the shapes would be the circle, and one shape would be the triangle. So maybe we'll put circle and triangle. I'll look up to see if there's anything different. Circle and triangle. They both would be, one would be 4 units from the y and 3 units from the x. Huh. All right, we'll have to think about that. So there isn't one single shape there. All right, next let's move along. Okay, moving along, going down. And we are at, use the coordinate plane to answer the following questions. Okay, so here we go. So it says fill in the blanks. So smiley face, they want you to tell you where it's located. So the smiley face is right here, and we're going to locate it. And if you look down on x, we have x is 2 down at the bottom. And then over here, y is 1. So they gave us an easy one this time with no fractions. The next one's a diamond, and here's our diamond up here. There you go. And diamond again is at 2, because you see that 2 at the bottom. So there's 2. Just like the smiley faces. They're on the same line, if you notice that. And the y coordinate is all the way over here where the sunshine is. So the y is here. And it looks like each of those places is 1/4, is worth a fourth. So you have to add 3.5 plus 1/4. Okay, so let's figure it out what that is. So 3.5 plus 1/4. And I need to make them common denominators. So I'm going to do 2. So 3 and 2/4, because 2/4 is also 1/2, right? Plus 1/4. And if you add them together, you get 3 and 3/4. Okay, so add just the fractions together. So 3 and 3/4 is our answer here. They don't make us do any more of those. All right, the sun. Well, the sun is pretty easy because the sun I see is right here. And the sun is at 0x, so it's at 0x. Down at the bottom it's 0. And we just found out that line where the diamond was at 3 and 3/4, and it's sitting right there on the letter Y at 3 and 3/4, same place as the last object. So notice when they're on the same Y coordinate, they can be on a line that goes straight. So there's going to be some questions on that later. All right, the last one is a heart. Well, the heart is at, oh, there you go. There's that 3.5 again down at the bottom. And the heart is one place up. And we already did this, so which is nice that we've already added 3.5 plus 1/4. We've done it down below. So in this case, the x coordinate is going to be 3 and 3/4. And this is on 0y. So you can see that 0y over here. And that's going to be 0y at the very bottom line. If you're at 0y, you are at the bottom. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching that. And here we go. Okay. Oh, name. And I moved on too quickly. I wonder if I can go back. Okay. So it says, name the shape whose x coordinate is 1/2 more than the value of the heart's x coordinate. So name the shape of the x coordinate that is 1/2 more than the value of the heart's x coordinate. Okay, so they want me to take, let's go ahead and draw this. They want me to go to the heart, and they want me to make it 1/2 more than its x. Okay, so they want me to go 1/2 further. And I told you that, let's see, every 2 lines is 1/2. So let's go up 2, and we get to 4, and that looks 1/4. We said that's 1/4 in between, so 4 and 1/4. 4 and 1/4. Okay, each of the, it looks like there's 1/2 between the big numbers, and then in the ones that are not labeled are 1/4 each. Okay, all right, let's move this up a little bit, and let's see. All right, there we go. And it says plot a triangle at 3/4. So let's see if I want to try to get the screen in there. All right. Okay, see, I kind of got it all the way in there almost. Letter D is going to be hard because I might have to make it a little smaller. Yeah, I'm going to have to make it. There you go. You can fit it in now. Okay. So it says plot a triangle at 3/4. So 3. Remember, x goes first, so 3. So 3 is right there. And if we go up to 4, there's 4. And we're going to meet where those 2 lines meet. So sometimes I got to follow them up. And I think that's it right there. So that is triangle. There's a triangle there. So let's just draw your triangle right there. Okay, letter D. Plot a square at 4 and 3/4 and 5. Well, you should know where 4 and 3/4 is. So 4 3/4 is, there's 4.5. And we know that the 3/4 would be in between there. So there you go. 4 3/4, which is right here. And then we're going to go up to 5, all the way at the very top. So we're almost at the very end there. Okay, and it says it wants me to plot a square. Okay, so let's do it. Little square. Actually, a pretty good square that time. All right, the last one is plot an x at 1/2 and 3/4. So remember, the first number is the x at the bottom. So let's look at for 1/2. And I see there's 1/2 right there. And 3/4. So we're going to go up to 3/4. So remember, each of those is 1/4. So it's 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. So the 3/4 would be right here. And let's go and put something there. There's a dot. There you go. And they want me to plot an x. So I guess that's where the treasure is. Hey, the treasure wasn't on the last page. It was on this page. All right, there you go. There's your 3 objects. You got the x, the triangle, and the square. All right. Okay. Moving down. All right, the pirate's treasure. So the pirate's treasure is buried at the X on the map. Okay. All right. So the X on the map. Okay. How could a coordinate plane make describing its location easier? So a coordinate plane is if you had a grid. We'll just draw a real quick grid. If you had a grid going, like this, and you could say that, from this point right here, which would be the origin, okay? And maybe that's like, I don't know, what could be there? It could be the waterfall on a river, okay? So maybe there's a waterfall there. And then there's a pool of water, and there's a river, okay? And you need to go to the X marks the spot. Well, you could, describe it as going, okay, well, if you go east, 300 feet from the waterfall, and you go, we could say that's like 500 feet. And if it was a plane, you could say that this was east. So X would be the east, right? Go east 300 feet, and then go north 500 feet north, right? So that could be a coordinate plane. You can talk about that. A coordinate plane is just like a map. Pretty cool. All right. That concludes lesson 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.